Today on Relative Justice.
Why don't you tell me, first of all, about your involvement with his rock band, Dead by Wednesday?
After the first time, you think the second time you came back, you would have a contract.
Yeah, but you're my cousin, so why am I going to have a contract with my cousin? I have contracts. I use contracts for my shows.
You gave him a second chance.
Yes, I did.
Do you feel that this is the second time that your cousin has burned you?
First of all, $500 is a third of what we normally get paid, and I did that because he's my cousin.
Give me a moment here,
Help
Christian.
me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
Real people, real cases, real families in crisis. Relative Justice with Judge Rhonda starts right now.
Christian Lawrence, you're here suing your cousin, and you're suing him for not paying you for a performance you did with your rock band. Louie, you say that you're their promoter, you've been promoting them for decades, and this particular concert didn't go well, and you don't owe them any more money. So first of all, tell me what kind of band you have.
I play in a heavy metal band called Dead by Wednesday. We've been touring for a long time, and we have a new album coming out. It's very professional. I play drums in the band.
So this band that you're in, how many band members do you have?
I have 4 band members in Dead by Wednesday, and basically we go out, we tour the whole country, and we take it very serious, and it's a career, it's a job, you know, and that's why I'm here. It's not just a hobby for us. We do it for a living. We try to make a living doing it. It's already hard enough, and so when we don't get paid, it's even harder.
So I understand that your cousin Louie,
Yep.
you're suing today, that he has been involved with your band for decades. So tell me about Louie's involvement with your band.
All right, so he's known in the Massachusetts area as a booking agent. So he books different bands into different venues in that area. I'm from Connecticut, so if I want to play Massachusetts, I go through LuRock at Muzik Booking, and a lot of people do, to play the Massachusetts area.
Okay, so other than this business relationship that you had with your cousin, what was your relationship like outside of that?
Well, we always had a really great relationship outside of these situations. But see, this is the second time this happened. So fool me once, fool me twice. So the first time I was booked with him, he didn't pay, and so it took a while to like get it in drips and drabs. Finally, we made amends, and we made up, and he did pay me for the first performance years ago. And so I was like, oh, I'll give it another shot. I'll give it another chance. So let's book another show. Let's do it again. So not only, this is the second time that this happened to me.
Okay, so I think that saying is, fool me once, shame on you.
Yes.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
I'm always terrible at those sayings.
So you're saying that you gave him a second chance.
Yes, I did.
Do you feel that this is the second time that your cousin has burned you on a performance?
Well, they say, you know, don't mix business with family. And I guess it's
say
true.
that a lot.
I guess it's true.
Okay, so I have now heard your cousin's side of things. So why don't you tell me about your involvement with his rock band, Dead by Wednesday? Do you have any sort of a written agreement with the band?
No, that was my whole point. If this is as professional as it should be, after the first time, you think the second time you came back, you would have a contract.
Yeah, but you're my cousin, so why am I going to have a contract with my cousin? I have contracts. I use contracts for my shows. But if you're my cousin,
Christian, if I understand what you're saying because this is your cousin, you didn't have a written agreement with him?
I always use contracts for all my shows. For this particular show, I only did text because I had, after the first situation, I should have probably known better. But I figured, you're my cousin. You made good on the first time. Let's give it a second chance. And I was believing in my cousin.
Okay, so Louie, tell me what it is you were supposed to do for this particular concert where everything kind of fell apart between you and Christian.
I was supposed to pay $500 as agreed upon, and it originally was booked for May. And then COVID came back, and everyone had to do the mask mandates came back, and so we postponed it.
How big of a venue was this that you booked for them?
It only holds about 150 people.
How many people showed up for the concert?
38 paid.
38 people came?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
And how many people were you expecting?
We hoped for at least 100, but like I said, during COVID, it was tough to count people coming in or showing up or not being afraid to even go out of the house.
So, Christian, going into this, concert, how many people were you expecting to be there?
Well, I think he was expecting like the first time we played there. So, with all fairness, first of all, $500 is a third of what we normally get paid, and I did that because he's my cousin. Now, this is at the end of the first wave of the pandemic, and people were itching to go to play, but the people were still scared to go out. So our normal crowd was not the same, but that's not our fault.
The normal crowd, the normal crowd from the first time, they had a different singer, so it's a different product as well. And anyone,
so is that true? You switched lead singers?
We sure did, and the new singer is amazing, and the new album's amazing, but it just hasn't got out yet.
I understand. So. We have a video of your band. Let's take a look at the video.
Okay. Oh, this is live. There's me in the background there, rocking out. You guys, Christ, that's our headbanging. Come on. Let's go.
So is this your lead singer that performed at the concert?
That's Esteban, yep.
Up next.
A deal's a deal. And if we...
Well, what's the deal here? What is your evidence of what the deal is?
I have a text message.
Let's take a look at that, because I'd like to know what the deal is.
And later.
How big of a venue was this that you booked for them?
Only holds about 150 people.
How many people showed up for the concert?
38 paid.
Christian says that he was supposed to be paid $500. You only paid him $250.
Correct.
Why?
We didn't bring enough money. Nowhere near.
Okay, so Christian, I'm trying to understand the agreement that you had with Louie, because you don't have a contract here.
It's a deal's a deal. And if we...
But what's the deal here? What is your evidence of what the deal is?
I have a text message.
Let's take a look at that, because I'd like to know what the deal is.
Yes, good.
Come on, who's saying come on, let's do May 3 or 4?
That was him.
Okay, so Louie sends you a text, and he says, come on, let's do May 3 or 4,
yep.
May 4, Saturday. And you responded, okay, let's talk about it then, bro. You can do $500. It would be our MCA CD release party. Let me know. That's really the only way we could do it. And he says, yes. What you just said, May 4. The concert that took place that you're saying you weren't paid for happened in August.
Right.
And the only text messages you presented to me are for a concert to take place on May 4 that never happened. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But
I think I've heard enough, and I'm ready to rule in this case. So
let me
give me a moment here.
Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Come on. I want to be the face of all the independent musicians that are getting ripped off.
Judge Rhonda is here to rule on the side of fairness and justice, and that's what you're going to get in your case.
Thank you.
So, Christian, let me start by saying family is family, but business is business. Yes. And in this case, I think you know, as a professional performer who has contracts with other promoters, that you really should have had a written agreement here with your cousin Louie before you did this concert. You also already knew, having dealt with Louie before, that when he did another concert for you, he was really slow to give you all of your money, yet you moved forward without an agreement, and the only text messages you presented me are with respect to a May 4th concert that never took place. However, based on everything that I've heard, it's pretty clear to me, Louie, that as the promoter, you did agree to pay him the $500. Now, I don't understand your business practices as a promoter, because it sounds like rather than paying the band up front, you basically wait to see how much money you're going to bring in, and then you pay the band whatever you can based on what you collected. I don't know how you do business doing business like that, but that's not the way a promoter is supposed to function. You are supposed to pay the band whatever you agree to, and you're supposed to pay them whether it's a huge success or it's a bust. That's a risk that you take as a promoter. Therefore, even though this is your cousin, you are going to have to stand by your oral agreement with him and pay him the $500. You only pay $50. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $250.
She helped me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
Justice prevails.
And now we're on to the next case.